Hey YouTube! So it is almost the end of 2018 and I wanted to do a little bit of a year in review, mashed up with some 2019 goals. I actually got the idea for the goals from Jessica Kellgren Fozard's awesome channel where she will record her goals for the coming year and then do a recap the next year to see how they landed. So I want to do something similarly. You also may notice something different in this video, thanks to my aunt and uncle who got me a ring light for recording YouTube videos. I am still learning how to use it, so the color temperature seems a bit weird, and I don't know what to do about the glare of my glasses. If you have any links to great videos to explain this, please leave them below in the comments. But hey, we're trying it. So 2018, for me, this was a big tower year. So if you're a tarot person, you know that you have a year card each year, and mine for this year was the tower. And that is not surprising. A lot of big things happened. I had 2 relationships end towards the beginning of the year. I also lost a very beloved boss of 4 years. There's been lots of shakeups in both my personal and professional life. So 2018 has really been all about growth for me. I've also come to kind of change how I think about romantic relationships, my interest in them, come to change how I think about productivity, how I think about myself in a public space versus a private space, and just some different kind of things like that. So I've really been wrestling with different ideas, and I feel like my identity is really at a turning point or milestone this year where I'm shifting, I would call it sort of out of Page of Wands space and into, well, I don't really know yet, but something else. So yeah, I also connected with the tarot community this year. I'm really excited to do more of that in 2019. Through taking some of Lindsay Mack's courses and getting active on Instagram. Of course, I started this YouTube channel, and I'm so happy that that some folks have subscribed and are enjoying the content. Please do tell your friends if you think it's something they might be interested in. I'm not somebody who does YouTube for I was going to say for the money, although it's not like there's any money since everything's demonetized on YouTube right now, but it's not something that I think of really as a platform for myself or whatever, but I really want to engage with folks who are interested in similar topics. So it's not so much about particular count of subscribers, but I am excited when more people do sign up and leave comments, because it's really interesting to engage and hear what folks have to say about the topics that I'm recording videos on. So that's been really cool. I've been able to grow my team at work, which is exciting, and gotten a few chances to travel. I went to a few places for work that I'm used to, like New York and Chicago, but I also went to St. Louis for the first time to visit a friend. Really love St. Louis. Lots of good vegan food there, surprisingly, and the City Museum is amazing. If you're somebody who gets really in your head and needs some what I call fool therapy, or kind of chances to practice your own spontaneity, go to the City Museum in St. Louis. It is 100% worth it. I think that was the main new place. Oh, I went to Miami as well, which was not really my thing, but I did go to Miami for the first time, and I had probably the most intense work travel experience that I've had this year. I went to 5 cities in 1 week to launch a new thing for my job. It was a lot of airports at 1 in the morning. I do not recommend it, but that was definitely a memory from 2018. And I've been spending more time listening to music. I'm a podcast person, but I really tried to encourage myself to get back into enjoying and listening to music, including artists that I was already a big fan of, but also some new stuff. And some artists that I'm a big fan of also released new material in 2018 or maybe 2017 for some of them, like the new Florence and the Machine album, St. Vincent's album. I think maybe dropped last year, but I've been listening to it a lot. A bunch of other stuff, including just like randomly listening to things that were on the radio a lot in the 90s because it's something I can do. And I've been kind of settling into bullet journaling. I was much more like go about it last year, but it's cool that I've kept the habit up. I'm glad that I'm still doing it even if it's not as consistent. So moving into 2019 goals, I used to be really concrete about goals, and I'm kind of more now into setting intentions. So I'm gonna call them 2019 intentions because I think we can set intentions that are really good and that make sense, and then they might actually be fulfilled in different ways than we expected. So my intentions for 2019, one is to grow in my career. There's a possibility for a promotion for a very different role, and I've been in my role, which has evolved itself, but I've been at the organization for about 4 years. I really like my organization and want to stay there. So one intention is to grow and change in my career this year. A second intention would be to, I'm going to say, this is a little bold, but I'm going to say to work towards offering something to the tarot community. Not necessarily launching something in 2019, but at least working on something. I have some ideas for like books and courses, and I'm pretty new to the tarot to actually be like offering something, but I'm kind of exploring that because some of the people that I really love their stuff are actually fairly new to tarot themselves. So that's not necessarily a reason not to do it. I would say number 3 is to continue growing community, to, build some closer relationships with people in the tarot and astrology, witchy communities. Not necessarily to be more active on social media, but to forge more connections on social media would be an intention. And then I'll say number 4 is I'm going to put this as like get right with my relationship with relationships or with people. I think often like I will pull the 3 of Cups, for example, and feel this intense guilt and feel like, oh my god, I'm a terrible person, because I don't feel like I'm great with relationships, consistency in relationships, with reciprocity in relationships. I realized the other day that I have this like probably deep shadow thing from when I was a kid, where I got to this point where I started to associate giving or generosity with pain or suffering. So like in order to be generous, it has to suck basically. And I would like to evolve beyond that belief because I know it's not really true, but I would like to be more in right relationship with how I give and receive with other people, and not just feeling bad all the time when anything comes up about social stuff in a tarot reading or otherwise. And then I will say, let's round it out with number 5. I intend to receive more tarot readings this year. I received 2, one from a friend and one from a paid tarot reader, and have signed up for a third, and I really enjoy getting to see how different readers work and also being able to contribute to the community in some way through paying for readings. And so I intend to get more readings in the new year, and work with different people and learn more about the tarot through receiving readings. So those are my 5 goals. We'll see at the end of next year how they pan out. If you have intentions or goals for 2019 that you've posted somewhere and want to share, you can always leave a comment below. And of course, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great rest of your 2018 and a start to 2019.